One take, one shot, raw review, no edits whatsoever. Let's get going. All right, so it's the aftermath of SummerSlam. Lots happened. Now, they will say that Triple H and Nick Khan did reach out to Brock Lesnar, and they got him on board. They said, come home, and that's all we're going to deal with Brock Lesnar. There's no Brock Lesnar, there's no John Cena, there's no Cody Rhodes. That's going to be saved for SmackDown. But on this one, we deal with the aftermath of Seth Rollins cashing in on this World Championship. If you want to win this World Championship, all you got to do is comment below. No, for real, I'm giving this away. 20,000 subscribers. I'm going to give it away. We're almost there, so comment below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell. Ding, ding, ding. Notification. You can win. Not a toy. This belt right here, and a thumbs up would be nice. Up that thumb. All right, so let's start with Seth Rollins, and we'll do the beginning and the end of Seth Rollins and work our way through the entire Raw episode, because I would say this, Seth Rollins definitely was mentored by Triple H. In that, I remember those Evolution days, Triple H and the gang, they'd come walking out, and then they would spend about 30 minutes telling you how great they are, how they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, and how they're going to accomplish even more, and then they would all just take turns just telling each other how great they are. The only difference here is only Seth and Paul get to talk. Didn't we learn nothing? Didn't we learn nothing from Seth's absence? Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, they can perform. They can do good things. Why aren't we letting those guys talk? Why are they back? Why are they all back in their secret Hervis getup, all right? Like, Chelsea Green puts over Piper Niven more than Seth puts over Bron Breakker. Can we do something with these guys? Can we make them Batista and Randy Orton to Seth's Triple H? Please, come on. Let's do something. I don't need to just wait around for Bron Breakker to do his token spear at the end. They can talk. But yeah, 27 minutes their segment lasted. But to be fair, LA Knight, yeah, he does come in. He does get involved. And he's talking. They're going toe to toe. I think maybe LA Knight was a little nervous because he was in the main event segment, because he did stumble a line or two, but he recovered fast enough. Seth Rollins is like, you wanna fight tonight? You wanna fight tonight? He's doing that setup where he's like, you want it? You can't have it. Not in this city. This city sucks. And then he goes to walk away. But Adam Pearce, I don't know. Either Adam Pearce was drinking a lot more, or he had stopped drinking because he was doing his job tonight, and he was like, no, Seth, your team lied to me. Your medical team told me you were injured. You're a liar. You're fighting tonight, main event. So that's the first half hour right there. By the way, 12 yawns, 11 commercials. Just wanted to let you know that right now. 12 yawns. I am tired. I'm not going to lie to. Wrestling fatigue. After SmackDown and night 1, night 2 of wrestling, wrestling fatigue has set in, and as a YouTube content creator, look at me, I'm a YouTube content creator, ain't I special? I do deal with more wrestling than maybe the average person, so I do want to factor that in. We should probably subtract 4 yawns just for the fact that I'm constantly in wrestling, and that's not a brag. No, who's gonna brag about that? That's not going to get me anywhere in life. That is definitely not a brag. I'm just saying I want to be fair. And give all the information. So anyways, that was the opening segment. Let's fast forward now to the final segment. By the way, the Brawns have been banned from ringside. So now we're at the, it's 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 15. We get Seth Rollins. We get... excuse me, one take, one shot. We get Seth Rollins, we get LA Knight, they all come out. It's a big fight feel. And I can tell that I think the crowd is a little fatigued also, because you got to think about it. they're not that far from where SummerSlam was. Whoever attended SummerSlam, a lot of them probably attended Raw as well. And they got to deal with travel and stuff. So, a lot of them they're fatigued as well. So the match is going on. It's whatever. It's fine. There's nothing horrible about it. It's a match. It's a match. And they're outside. Seth he takes off the padding of the floor, and he's gonna curb stomp. He's about to curb stomp LA Knight, into it. You want to hurt me? I'm gonna hurt you, he says. But that's where CM Punk comes out of the crowd, and he starts laying it into Seth Rollins, beating him up, beat him up. And then they're outside beating, and this is where we get our first of many token spears by Bron Breakker. The guy's like inhuman. He is inhuman. Like, for real. Like, wow. He comes running down and like, boom, you're dead. He spears you, you're dead. So Punk gets speared. They bring him in the ring. They're gonna hold and spear him. They do that to LA Knight too. LA Knight jumps in. They keep trying to fight Seth's faction, but it's pretty much just like one guy's beat up, so the other guy recovers, and then he tries to fight, but then he gets beat up, and so it's basically 3-on-1 or 2-on-1 the whole time. And then it's like, all right, we did it. We beat them up. We laid them out. Let's get going. The little graphic appears. Seth is all happy with themselves, but then the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, his music hits. I'm glad they did this. I'm really glad they did this, because I was saying, right now, walking into this Raw, all of the main eventers were full health. Roman, Jay, Punk, Seth, except for KO. KO's not full health. Sammy, if you want to include him, Drew, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, everybody is at full peak health, so why wouldn't Roman want to stick around and beat up Seth freaking Rollins? Now, I did pose this as a plot hole that somebody has corrected me. Forgive me, I can't remember who, but I said, why isn't anybody like interfering with Seth Rollins' cash-in? He has been a thorn in everybody's side, so why isn't Roman not helping Punk, but hurting Seth? And the reason is, everybody thought Seth was injured, so there was no reason to go out there. That makes sense, and I can deal with that. By the time they realized that Seth wasn't injured, it was too late. So I can deal with that. That little plot hole has been closed from SummerSlam, and now here we are, Roman Reigns full health, beating up Seth Rollins, but eventually the number games get a hold of him, and it's spear, it's curb stomp, spear, tsunami, seal your shoes. And they're calling the shoes the Shula Fala. Like, I love Roman Reigns, but that's funny. That's good stuff, pal. And so the Shula Fala, that's Bronson taking the shoes twice, which will help Bronson Reed as a character rise up as a singles competitor. Do I think that Bronson should beat Roman? No, but I would love for somehow, some way to maybe get a Saturday Night's Main Event out of that, because now he has stolen his shoes twice. And he has given him tsunami. Like, maybe on the path to Seth Rollins, Roman takes out Bronson Reed. That would be good. That would be good for Bronson. I would love to see that. So yeah, there's your bookend statements of just, hey, it's Seth Rollins. It's Seth freaking Rollins. Now, I'm really hoping they don't keep doing this opening segment of 20 to 30 minutes of just, I'm so great, I'm so awesome. Now, if he wants to give 5 minutes to telling how great and awesome the Brawns are, I'm okay with that. But like, when he had the Money in the Bank, it was the same promo over and over with just variations of it, and Triple H did that with Evolution. So let's not do that, and let's bring the Brawns up. Now let's talk the rest of Raw, because a show happened, believe it or not. So we go, I got my cliff notes over here, but it says It says Judgment Day, Dom and LWO, and that's supposed to spark this whole statement right here. So yes, the LWO, they are there. Dragon Lee and Dominic Mysterio, they kind of have words. They have words, and they're like, okay, let's fight tonight. Let's do it. And then the LWO, they exit, and then here comes AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is like, you know what? Props, you got me yesterday, but you won't get me next time. I'm still coming for you. And Dom is like, oh, well, whatever, man. I got a mustache. And I felt bad for Finn Balor, actually, in this whole thing, because Finn Balor is playing second fiddle to Dominic Mysterio. No shade, but, like, if you look at where Finn Balor was like 10 to 12 years ago, like he's on a way different place on that card. And, this is for you. Let's get some really deep cuts here. Nerd alert. I'm about to nerd out here. Finn Balor was once upon a time the leader of the Bullet Club in New Japan Wrestling, or in Japan. And then AJ Styles, when Finn left, AJ Styles followed and became that leader. So these guys were equals, or even Finn might have even been higher on the pecking order at one time because he began the whole thing. And now AJ is challenging Dom, and Finn is just like the sidekick to Dom, or like the whipping boy, the guy who's just kind of like, I don't know. I love Finn Balor as a character right now because I do like how bitter and twisted he is, but I felt a little bad for him in that moment because, like, where everybody else is on the card, it just seems like he has fallen from grace pretty dang hard. Then we go to Sheamus and Rusev. They come out swinging. This was the best of their matches. They come out swinging. It's fast-paced. This is what they needed. And they will, eventually, it's just a count-out. It's just a count-out. If someone asked, why do some matches have count-outs and some don't? There's no logic. There's no logic to it. Just like the same reason that Io Sky gets a championship match next week. Why does Io Sky get a championship match next week against Naomi? Doesn't make sense. Why doesn't Rhea? I mean, they were both, their rematch was at SummerSlam. Io should not get a match against Naomi. There's just no reason to it other than the fact of, hey, why not? Let's do it. And that's why they got counted on. Hey, why not? Let's do it. Let's count them out. Well, they keep fighting afterwards, and then like 100 people have to pull them apart. I'll say I've been saying that they need more violence. They definitely need more violence in this feud, like Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman kind of violence, but this tonight seemed a little forced. I'll take it because it was an improvement, but it still seems a little forced, this Sheamus-Rusev feud. Can we just get to the tag team already that they're about to feud? They're going to form because they are such, they eventually have respect for each other. Whew, I think they're fighting next week too. And then here, a funny thing though, throughout the entire show, they keep fighting. They actually fight throughout the entire show. They pop up here, they pop up there. One time the not best friends, Charlotte and Bliss were walking and they fight in front of them, and it's just like, it's kind of like Peter Griffin and the Chicken. They just pop up and they're fighting everywhere, but then you cut to something else. Sami Zayn actually does an interview. R.I.P. Karrion Kross. I really think that was his last match. Because Sami Zayn is just gonna move on forward, and at one point, yes, I wanted to hit him with the wrench, but I'm gonna do things the right way. I'm gonna do it my way, and that's Frank Sinatra, by the way. And so yeah, so Sami Zayn on his high horse, Sami Zayn on his high horse, saying that he's gonna do it his way, but he catches a stray because at one point, Rusev and Sheamus, they fight right by him, and he gets a punch. So that's next week also. So I do apologize. I am filming this after the fact. I actually was about to upload the video, and I realized I forgot an entire match. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez challenged the not best friends, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, for the title. Those two came out right, and they were kind of like doing their whole thing about not being friends. They're really awkward with each other, but the crowd seems to love it. So, and I kind of like it too, but it's like they just don't know how. I don't know. Anyways, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, they come out, and Adam Pearce says, we're going to have a match right now, and they have a match. So this was pretty much, it was an all right match. There was nothing wrong with it, and it was decent enough. Raquel Rodriguez continues to impress, but they lose, and now Judgment Day are completely out of the title picture, which is weird because, like, if they have the title, it justify Roxanne Perez staying in Judgment Day when Liz Morgan comes back, but she doesn't, and now Charlotte and Alexa, they are your champions, and hopefully we can keep this division strong. That's it. I wanted to put it in here. I apologize. Back to the review. Let's back it up. We got after the count out with Sheamus and Rusev, Big G, Grayson Waller comes up to the New Day. The New Day are mourning. Xavier Woods has the biggest hat I've ever seen, and it matches the grief. That hat matches the grief that the New Day have for the tag team division, and so, like, I'm surprised the hat's not even bigger. And I just gotta say, let's take a moment to thank God for the New Day. Oh man, that's right. I'm drinking a Red Bull at 10:30 p.m. 10:28. Okay, so then Grayson Waller tries to get a match for the New Day to get their titles back, and he interrupts Pierce talking to Penta, and that leads to a Penta Grayson Waller match. And Grayson Waller and Penta, they fight, right? And New Day come out for commentary. They haven't accepted Big G into the fold, but it looks like that's the direction. They were definitely talking positive to him, to Michael Cole, who, by the way, is very disrespectful. I don't think I can ever forgive Michael Cole for not kissing the hand of Kofi Kingston. Like, very disrespectful, Michael Cole. Do better. So anyways, the match is over. Penta wins. The New Day get in there, and Penta just like the guys are grieving, and Penta attacks them. I thought Penta was a face, and apparently not, because he totally just beats up the New Day in their grief. Not cool. And then he wears the hat. Disrespectful. Throws the hat, they get it. I'm sorry, New Day. I would like to apologize on behalf of Penta for the New Day. The New Day are awesome. The New Day rock. New Day rocks. All right, so anyways, what do we got going on next? Penta disrespects the New Day. Sheamus and Rusev, they keep fighting with commercial 6. Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Lyra. Okay, so Bayley, Lyra, they have a moment where Lyra's just like, Listen, Bayley, we're not good for each other. I cost you stuff, you cost me stuff. Let's just go. Because Bayley seemed to be like, come on, let's do this. And so I thought it was going to be Bayley, Becky, but it seems to be Becky, Nikki. Weird. Becky comes out there and starts like gloating about everything, and then Nikki Bella comes out. I was a little worried that Nikki Bella was going to get like booed out of the building. She seems to kind of not fit, right, today's like generation. Excuse me, I'm not saying, sorry, it's one take, one shot, you gotta deal with it. I'm not saying that, like, Nikki doesn't have her place in history, but she seems out of place in today. Kind of like Rusev actually kind of seems out of place in today, which is kind of weird that I just compared Rusev and Nikki Bella to each other. I don't know if that's the look that Rusev is trying to go for, but anyways, Nikki Bella just seems out of place. But they were cheering her, but Becky destroyed her. Becky did the whole John, like, kind of said, you know, I like how Becky keeps saying my hot husband, but then she alluded to, well, John Cena and Nikki, who were an item, no longer an item, and the crowd just. And to Nikki's credit, she was just kind of like, she got insulted, right? She could tell she was insulted. She could tell she got defeated. That round went to Becky. She kind of laughed. It was like when you get insulted so good that, yeah, you hate that other person, but you have no choice to just be like, yeah, you got me. That was funny. That's the worst and the best at the same time. I've been there. Like, you're so mad at someone and they make you laugh. You're like, I don't want to laugh right now. I'm mad. I want to be mad. Don't make me laugh. And so Becky did that. So looks like those two are headed for a fight. They're headed towards a fight. And let's see. Sammy takes the punch. Nikki, Becca, instant. Okay, that's actually. Am I there? I think that's it. Honestly, I think that's it. Almost. We got two more things that happened. Sorry, it's been a long weekend. We have a Naomi backstage segment. That's a travesty, in my opinion. Naomi's doing such great work. Why is she regulated to a backstage segment? I get it. For the foreign markets, she had a promo in the ring, but for us peasants in the United States of America, we get commercials, and that's when when Naomi did her thing in the ring, and I think that we should have got her thing in the ring as well. But she has a backstage segment. She talks about how she has to unfairly fight Io Sky, but then Stephanie Fakir comes, and Naomi's like, I'm gonna beat Io, then I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna take your horns, shove them up where it don't shine, and you're gonna be walking with a limp. And I love Naomi. She's awesome. She's great. Please protect Naomi at all costs. And then Becky's doing great work too. Could you imagine a Becky Naomi Chelsea Green alliance? Whoa. Oh, I don't know if we could handle that. I don't know if we could handle that much quality on TV. But then Becky walks up, or Natty and the Alpha Academy babes, whatever they are, they walk up to Becky, and she's like, how could you? And then Becky's like, how could you? You're about to jump me with 3 people, 4 if you include Nikki. And Natty's like, I used to respect you, da-da-da-da-da. And then Becky's like, fine, let's go. Let's fight next week. And Natty's like, all right, let's do it. And Becky's like, no, not you, her. Maxine Dupree. So Maxine versus Becky. If it's a non-title match, I probably could see Becky letting giving Maxine the win there, the shock win. I could actually see that. But there you go. That's pretty much it, because now at this point we have our the final segment where everybody gets obliterated by Seth Rollins and his group. Which, by the way, they're calling themselves the Vision right now. The Vision. How many chops am I going to give this? How many chops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to give it 7. I think LA Knight graduating to the main event scene was cool. Glad they got a name, the Vision. I don't like that the Bronze are just the Secret Hervis again. Roman, surprise appearance. They didn't have to tell us. Roman Reigns returns. He just showed up to work. Jey Uso not being there was a little like, I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I'm going to give it a 7. Give it a 7. If you want to give it an 8, that's fine. Wrestling fatigue. This guy, that's my Io Sky impression. I have wrestling fatigue right now, so maybe it's an 8. Maybe it's a 20 out of 10. I don't even know right now. I have lost all feelings. I have no I am lacking emotion right now when it comes to wrestling. So anyways, just kidding, guys. I love wrestling. Just kidding, girls. I love wrestling. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this until the wheels fall off. I don't know what that means. Do I have wheels? I don't know. But if I did, they'd fall off before I quit loving wrestling. Boys, girls, I'm going to just shut up. If I could take that stuff out, I would, but I can't. It's a one take, one shot. I have hot takes. They're up. Go leave a hot take for tomorrow. Boys, girls, have yourselves a good day, night, whatever it is. I gotta go.